again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City. Welcome
Saves
to
money.
Money Monday. I know. Listen, I know you're not looking forward to having any meatball soup 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. But I'm actually making this on a very chilly Sunday. This started off as a simple hamburger soup, a little flat hamburgers. But I was clearing out my refrigerator and I noticed a whole bunch of other stuff that needed to be used up fairly soon, because the last thing that I want in my life is what? Food waste. Food waste. I'm trying to find my ladle, which somehow magically slipped away, so I have to use a fork. Look what's in here. Everything plus the kitchen sink. I had some leftover meatballs. I also made little hamburger shapes. I could show you the picture of that later. But just go through your refrigerator and see what you have. Make sure you don't waste a thing, and you come up with an awesome, beautiful pot of soup with your favorite stuff in it. Just make a soup today. If it's getting nice and chilly by you, this is the time of the year that soup's on. But now I want to talk to you on camera about some money-saving ideas besides this. Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Unlike the beginning of the video where I just happened to forget to say saves money, because that was my original name, Jan from New York City, and then I decided that it would make a little more sense to be a little more descriptive a couple of years ago. And then I added the important part, Jan from New York City Saves Money. Okay, and we're going to talk about, on this Money Monday, about how to upcycle our lives. What do I mean by upcycle our lives? You know, I feel this way. We're all basically made from great stuff. But there are times that I believe that we can give ourselves a little bit of a boost and be a little bit greater and just live a more productive life, perhaps more fruitful existence, perhaps a more profitable existence. But I do believe that there are certain steps that we need to take in order to achieve our goals. And I have it written down so I don't forget. So I hope you don't mind my reading my notes. And basically it starts off with, start your day peacefully. Now, I am of the ethic that if your household is peace-filled, it just makes for a better day. What do I mean by peace-filled? Well, I don't only mean just no loud noises or distractions, but look around you. Is your area decluttered? Is your area chaotic? Because to wake up to chaos, in my opinion, is not the happiest way to wake up, in my opinion. To wake up to a sink full of dirty dishes from the night before, or heaven forbid, 2 nights back, to me, is just chaotic, and it just starts your day off on a negative note. The best thing to do is do everything in baby bites and work as you go along. If something belongs in another room and you just happen to be going in that other room, take that thing with you to that other room and just put it away. It's just that simple. By doing that a little bit more and more, you will have less things to, quote, end of quote, declutter, right? And of course, the phone is ringing. Oy vey. But that's okay. I don't mind this call. Thank you so much. You know, life happens, calls happens. That's okay. That's real life, right? Okay. Basically, to wake up in chaos can't feel peaceful, at least to me. And I would definitely think it wouldn't be for you. So try to get as much stuff done the night before while it's a little bit of a period dot, okay, at the end of a sentence, as opposed to making it a cantaloupe by the end of the day. So you could tackle this, you can do it. To start your day peacefully, take some decompression moments of me time. That's right. Decompress yourself. You're just waking up. Do the little bit of stretching like I showed you. Consider doing it. Or if you rather, sit down with that all-important cup of joe and just say, hey, this, let's say 10 or 15 minutes is your time. Whether you want to just sit there and stare into space or put on the important news that you might need to know, commuter news, before you go out the door if you're working from outside the home. And it's your time, not everyone else's time, your time. And I'm telling you, it is very important to take some time for you, because I do a lot of things throughout the day, but I carve out some time that is absolutely my time. I take a whole hour of me time at certain intervals of the day. It works better for everyone else that's around me, or everyone else that I may be working with or working for. Take that important me time. Okay. Consider this time for some sort of physical activity, like I said, the stretching, or like taking a walk. Even if you do a few rounds walking around and around your house or apartment, as silly as that may sound, you're getting the juices to flow, and you just feel so much better. Also, consider making some time for your own breakfast. I know you're probably saying, but I have 3 kids. How can I do that? Well, while they're eating, you eat. It's just that simple. That's what I used to do when my daughter was little, you know. She was eating, I would eat. And that's another thing. Make your breakfast as uncomplicated as possible. What I like to do, I like to make a batch of muffins ahead of time over the weekend, for example. I like grab and go type things, like a muffin or something that you could just throw in the toaster quickly, like a toaster waffle or a bagel, something simple. Breakfasts do not have to be elaborate unless it's like, let's say, a weekend. In my opinion, on the weekends, like a weekend leisurely brunch, that's great. That's very, very good. You know you have that time, you're going to take a little longer, you're going to have a little more stuff. But when you know you have to dash out the door or dash to your home office door, and we're going to talk about that in a second, then have a grab and go. Breakfast should never be that complicated. Like I said, you can make your own muffins, freeze them, pop them down the night before, or throw it in your nuke a few seconds, and there you go. Make a few hard-boiled eggs. Have them ready in your refrigerator if you're eating protein. It's already done. There you go. Or just a piece of fruit. Grab and go. Breakfast does not have to be that elaborate or expensive. Oh, don't forget, also, you have the option of quick oatmeal. That's a great, great option, too. You probably heard this already, but it's worth repeating. Lay out your outfits the night before. Nothing's worse than, your mind is already scattered in some cases, or something unforeseen comes up, and there you are at the closet going, duh, but that shirt's not ready, or I don't like the way that jacket looks, or I can't see to match it, blah, blah. When you have the gift of a few minutes, and all it takes, by the way, is a few minutes. It's not a monumental thing. When you have the gift of a few minutes time the night before, that's when you get ready. That's when you get it ready. Isn't it nice knowing when you go to bed, your outfit's ready, the kids' outfits are ready to jump into? It's not a big deal. It becomes a big deal. It becomes a big deal if you put it off, or if you're too tired at night. And that's another thing I want to talk about in a minute, about being very, very, tired, when you get back from work. Okay. Oh, a word about people that work from home. For those people who do not work at home and only know how to work outside of the home, believe it or not, people that work from home need to be taken seriously. They are working. Now, I know this sounds bold for me to just say it like that. People that work from home are working. Let's say this again. People that work from home are working. What does that mean? That's the time you're just going to have to unplug from personal calls, for example. I mean, unless you accomplish a task and you need like a 5 minute, and I mean it literally, 5 minute break, then you could take that personal call, to clarify your mind for a couple of minutes, and that's totally fine. Everything has a limit. But I get a little bit upset when people don't take people that work from home positions seriously. Just because a person is home doesn't mean that they're not working. Just because they're sitting in their home office doesn't mean, they're just playing games. Now, there are some people who can't stay focused, and that's the trick. If you really want to earn some money, if you take your work from home position seriously, you have to stay focused. So that's another tip. Stay focused. And it is okay, it's actually okay to tell some people once in a while, gee, I can't talk to you right now. May I call you back later? And that's fine because you still get to do that. And by the way, true friends really will understand that. The ones that don't understand that, I question the validity of the actual friendship. That's, again, my opinion. So I also mentioned after the kids are off to school, whether it's by remote or on a physical place outside of your home, after the kids are off to school, and if you work from home or wherever you work, that is your time to focus on the task at hand and do it. Because that job is paying your bread and butter. In some people's case, it's paying their rent, or it's paying their mortgage down, or food. I mean, we're talking, real life here. You know what I mean? So on this Money Monday, it's not just about talking about savings, but it's talking about earning. But in order to earn, it is part of a mindset, okay? And there used to be an ad in the newspaper and on the top of the classified ads back in the day, it used to say, learn to earn. Well, guess what? In this case, maybe all of us have to take a reboot and upcycle to relearn to re-earn, okay? Because we have to stay focused. And let me see, I believe I indicated something else in my notes. Okay. Be a doer and less of a taker, less of a consumer. By staying active, by staying focused, by getting the job done, guess what? You'll be spending less time running around idly in stores just to pass the day. Let's be honest. There are some people that shop because they really need to shop. And there are some people that shop because I call them career shoppers, because they're looking for something to fill the day. I'm not putting the person down, but that adds up to a lot of money spent. And unless you have that money to throw away, God bless you, God keep you, may you continue to prosper. I'll always say that. But for the rest of us that have bills to pay, they come due. The bills always come. The bills always come. So therefore, let's be less of consumers and more of doers type thing. Let's be creative. Okay. By the way, get a load of that beautiful pot of soup. That beautiful pot of soup that you saw at the beginning of this video, stuff I already had. I was just cleaning out my refrigerator. I thought I was going to make a tiny hamburger soup, but I said, wait a minute. I have zucchini. I have leftover corn. I have string beans. I have this. I have that. Leftover meatballs. I have those little rotini pasta. Boom. I threw it in there. That soup is going to give me 4 lunches this week. I'm going to have some fresh hot in a little while because I'm recording this, today is actually Sunday, even though I talk about Money Monday. And while you're watching it, it is Money Monday. But that soup, 4 days. I didn't buy anything. I used what I had. That's an example. I guarantee you, if you go into your refrigerator right now, you can make a pot of soup practically out of anything practically that you have left over in your refrigerator. Leftover frozen vegetables, leftover meats, whatever. You don't want to pitch them because the last thing you want is food waste. That's the last thing I want. And you just created something and you didn't consume it. And that turns into money that you can use for other things or decide to save that money. Does that not sound good to you? You saw that soup. Do I look deprived eating that soup? I don't think so. You know, this next one, and then I'm going to go in a minute. Hone the idea of patience. Recently, I mentioned about something that irritated me personally. This was on my Facebook about a phone call that irritated me. A person that repeatedly asked me for phone numbers, then doesn't even have a pen, and they put me on hold while they get their pen, and I've given them that number 5 times. Long story, but that kind of a call tests my patience, especially if I'm in the middle of the workday trying to focus. So I said, it's not them, even though it is them, but I take ownership of my reaction to it. So I said, Jan, you and about 7 million other people in New York City, or 8, we have to hone the act of patience. So hone the act of patience. Impulse shopping could also mean money down the drain, but you could manage it by taking a step back or so. One of my subscribers mentioned recently in a comment that they have a trick. When they do online shopping, they'll put everything in the shopping cart, not make any purchase yet, wait about 24 hours or a little more, go back to that shopping cart after the time went by and decide, do I really need these things? Or do I really just want it? I think that's a great technique. And thank you for your comment and all of your comments, everyone. Thank you so much. So I'm going to end it this way. Do things each day that brings you joy each day. Remember, you can make yourself happy. It's totally okay. You have my permission. Do things each day that brings you joy each day. Find the time to take that walk or dance to cool moves and music, or call that understanding friend that called earlier, but you didn't have time for. And they understood that you were busy working because they took you seriously. That's a real friend. So these ideas will help you to eventually save money and grow your business or focus better on your job, whatever, and lead to a happier, more serene life. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. I can't wait to sit down to lunch to that bowl of soup by cleaning out the refrigerator soup. Hey, that's a cute name for it. Go make one today. Go clean out your refrigerator. Get creative. Save money. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you again real soon.